All right, but yes, hello everybody. I see at least 33 people here already. We will give a minute or two for people to join on in. Um, my name is Philip. I'm on the support team. If you haven't talked to me before, you may have seen my face on some of these webinars and stuff before. Want to welcome you all here. We've got a couple faces that you may not have seen. Mackenzie and Kiri are joining me today. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
After you, Mackenzie.
Oh, thanks. So I'm Mackenzie. Hey, all. I work on the partnerships team here at inFlow. And in the past, I used to be on the sales team as one of our sales development reps. So if you've been a customer for a while, we may have chatted before. But if not, it's great to connect with you all.
Awesome. And I'm Kiri. I'm a customer success manager. Some of you may have spoken to me pretty frequently. I've been on calls. Might have seen me a little bit at support maybe a few years ago, or even now and then we help out a bit. But yeah, thanks for joining us today, everyone.
Yeah, cool. I guess it's morning, afternoon, depending where you are, kind of thing. As we wait another minute or two, just to let anybody come in that's waiting to come. I have a quick little game, as you will, or anything. I know we're all usually at work and we're at our desks or anything, so I challenge you all to look around and see what the strangest item you have within arm's reach is at your desk or anything like that. I've got a lot of random weird things on my desk, which I will show you in just a moment. But yeah, take a look. Let us know in the chat what is the weirdest thing that is on your desk that you can kind of reach or see or anything like that. I see Caleb saying a Sully from Monsters Inc. magnet. Okay, that's cool. You might appreciate. Here we go. This is a picture of my little corner here in my basement down here. It might be hard to see, but I have a whole bunch of statues and figurines up here. If you can't tell, we got like Spider-Man and God of War. We got a big Thor's hammer, and I like to be surrounded by a whole bunch of Blu-rays and stuff in the back too. See, I'm a big movie and game buff. I see Travis has got a horse-shaped toy. Instead of a horse head, it has a duck head. Okay, that's a weird one. That is definitely a weird one. Lindsay has an old railroad spike. That's interesting. That's cool. I like that. Let's take a look. Here's Kiri's desk. You want to say
a little messy at the moment? Kiri? Yeah, I know. But yeah, I keep my Mandalorian head real close by. Keeps me focused. Have Grogu at work, so I'm always, in my Star Wars era and love. Got my beautiful keyboard and my mouse. I just finished a little protein shake, so it's a little bit messy over there. Got my laptop. I also got my little timer that I use very regularly, which is just like really easy to set. Keeps me off of my phone too, from having to go in there and try to set a timer, which then leads me into Instagram. So I just need something that can quickly set 15 minutes and it does the trick. But yeah, not too big standing desk. So
nice. Ed, I saw he had a Kevlar for bulletproof vest. That's an interesting thing to have near your desk.
Can Kevlar protect you from an old railroad spike though? Like
these are the questions we want to know. And here we go. We got Mackenzie's desk. I mean, this is just insane to me. It's so minimal. There's nothing.
I just, you know what, you guys, I love to work off one screen. I like to migrate around the house when I work, and this is my go-to spot. And I just have, there's in the corner, I have a bunch of Pilates grip socks. That's like that. There's a pile unpictured. And then I do have an external monitor there. That's what's folded up, but I just don't use it. Well, it's like my dining room table too. So like I have to, that's what I love about it, you guys. Like I love at the end of the day, putting it all away and having the empty table, because after 5 p.m. is done, unless there's, an important sale or something, like the laptop's getting shut.
Hey, well, that's good. Good to be able to disconnect and, pack it all away and everything. So awesome. Well, thank you everyone for sharing. I see Caleb also said, sorry, Bobby had said Roz from Monsters Inc. With her inventory clipper. So we had 2 Monsters Inc. fans.
Wow, that's awesome.
So That's cool. So we will start getting into it. Again, today's webinar is kind of a little different than usual. This being just kind of more of like a live Q&A. We're obviously doing our intro right now, but I've prepared a few slides for some cool upcoming releases that we kind of want to tease that are coming to inFlow, some pretty soon, some a little further out kind of thing. We did also, in the email that we sent out, asked if you could pre-submit any kind of questions, which we got a few, so we've got a few of those that we can go in there too. But we will also be taking your questions live. So I believe, here we go. Yeah. Mackenzie, Kiri, and myself will be doing our best to answer your questions. You can ask them in the chat. We will try and write them down and kind of go through them in order as we go. Obviously, don't disclose any like personal information or company information or anything like that. Again, we may not be able to get into like extremely specific topics or scenarios or things like that, but like the more general questions and stuff, I'll stop sharing like the slides and stuff, and we'll try and kind of actually show in the program itself and everything, so we can kind of again just see what everybody's into and what we can kind of help out with. If we cannot figure it out, or again, I mean, we don't know everything, inFlow is a huge program, you can always email us at support@inflowinventory.com anytime you need help, or if you have any suggestions or feedback or anything. We love getting your suggestions. We love getting your feedback. We share it in a channel that our co-founders and everything take a look at, so they're always seeing all the different things that everybody wants, and we do use that to kind of help shape the way the program is evolving and everything like that. So with that being said, we will jump on into, again, kind of a tease of some of the upcoming releases. Some of these images are, again, from kind of pre-release things, so things might look slightly different when they do come out, but hopefully these will be some kind of cool little features that you might be excited for. So the first one, we've got a couple updates coming to our reports. This one, I know, at least on the support team and everything, we are super looking forward to, but you're going to be able to select multiple locations at once on reports. This is something that we do get requested quite a bit, and previously you've only been able to do one location at a time. We have a big update coming out on February 24th that's going to have a whole bunch of these different little features coming out. Again, as long as testing and everything goes well, February 24th, knock on wood, shouldn't get pushed. So yeah, this is going to be one of those cool new little features. Another report one is actually being able to filter your products by type in the report. So again, something that people have been asking for. This now will actually also include deactivated products too, so that way you can pull up every different type of product or anything like that that you need in the reports, so you can get all that information. Kind of a cool little change coming to our sales orders, of an estimated profit margin on sales orders. So right now at the bottom, you can actually click and you can pull up this little cost details thing, which will show you your totals and your profits and everything like that. But this will then actually try and calculate out that profit margin, again, just to give you that little bit more of information that you might want to know. This is a big one. This is something we've been working on for a very, very long time. You may have heard about it already, but we are currently running a lot number beta. So you can ask your customer success manager if you can get access to it. Currently, there's no cost for if you want to be part of the beta, and it is still ongoing because we're slowly kind of rolling out extra features as we go along and as we get more feedback on it. But yeah, with this, you can actually do away with having to use sublocations as lot numbers or expiry dates and stuff like that. It adds a whole bunch of stuff to the program itself, and it's yeah, probably one of the biggest projects I've ever seen them work on, kind of thing. So it's been taking a very, very long time. So it is something that you can, if you do either email support@inFlow, or again, if you reach out to your customer success manager, you can talk about seeing if you can get into this beta so that you can actually start testing out lot numbers, which is really cool. Another thing people have asked for a lot is to be able to sell their products directly from the product screen. So we're adding just this tiny little button. It might be a little hard to see up there, but besides copy and print labels and everything like that, just a nice little sell button that once you click it, it'll ask you what customer you want to sell it to. And then it will actually then create that sales order, so you can just quickly go to it and then you can jump right into that sales order itself. So again, kind of a nice little little feature that will just make things hopefully a little bit easier, and that's another one that should be coming out on the 24th. Another thing that we've seen sometimes when you want to deactivate your products, it's hard to remember that you actually have to take away the stock that exists with the product itself. So we're adding this cool little thing that when you deactivate a product, it's going to pop up and ask you, do you want to remove your stock or do you want to just leave it alone kind of thing? Because again, maybe you want to reactivate it later. So this kind of just makes it a little easier to not have to think about all those extra things. So if you click remove stock, it'll automatically do the stock adjustments for you for each of the different locations that you have stock in it, leaving it at 0 once it has been deactivated. So again, something just to kind of make everything a little bit easier, and you don't have to think about it. And that should be coming out February 24th as well. This is another really cool project that's coming out of like a beta period, is actually our new web dashboard. So this is another one coming out on February 24th. We can actually show this one off as well too. I can pull it up. I think I have, here we go, my account right here, where you can actually see, so right on the home page now, instead of just seeing like add a new sales order or anything like that, you get this cool dashboard where you can actually customize the different pieces of information that you see on there. You can change like what location you want it to be reporting on. One of the really nice things with it, you can actually like change the size. So right now this is showing me my top 3 products that I have sold in the last year. If I click this little thing down here, I can drag it down, make it bigger. Now it's going to show me the top 5 products. You can move them around, you can change which ones. So again, like top 3 customers, and all those different kinds of things. You click this little add widget button at the bottom and you can see all the different ones that you want on here. So again, this will be coming out of beta, available to everybody on the 24th, which will be a very cool feature. Now, again, kind of, I promised some teases of some things that are upcoming. We've heard a lot of people wanting an integration with Square, and that is something that is being worked on right now. So you can see, again, kind of like one of our little modals that they're working on here for when you're actually configuring it and everything like that. I'm not part of this project, so I don't know as much and the status on it and everything like that, but we are hoping to expect it by Q2 this year. And another little tease, another one that we've had a lot of people asking for is saving your reports. So this project is underway. We don't have any kind of specific release dates or anything like that planned yet, but I do know that they are working on it. So this is where you'll actually be able to go into any of your reports. You can give it a name. You can pick all the different columns, your different filters, your everything like that, and then save them. So that way you can save it and not have to go in and reset them up every single time. So again, something that I know a lot of people have been asking for. And so yeah, at that, we will kind of take a pause from kind of some of those teases and everything like that. I see people putting stuff in the chat here, and I see Kiri and Mackenzie already typing away and everything like that. So I don't know if there's a question that you want to highlight first and we can go over.
Yeah, Hunter brought up a good one, a question. So any chance that we could convert a PO to a direct sale, which I know is kind of common-ish that gets brought up. I know right now from PO to sale, there isn't quite really a way to do it that way, but you can actually do it on the inverse. So you can create a sales order, and you do have the ability of being able to convert that sales order to a purchase order. So if you are trying to align something like a purchase order that you need to order a bunch of products for a potential sale that's going to happen, you could go through it this way. Even using, if you have reorder settings set up, you can also create the sales order and technically create a PO that way as well through the reorder settings when you're setting up your products. So you might just have to do it a little bit differently, Hunter. But of course, if you kind of want to dig deeper into that, feel free to reach out to your CSM or a support rep, and we can kind of go over what your use case is for it, right? And maybe come up with a even simpler workflow if there is one. But I find like that should help. For the most part, when I do bring that up, people are like, okay, I think I can do it that way.
Cool.
I think too, Nick had asked about tracking products by number of pallets, which of course has, so we don't support, pallet license plating per se, but they don't see pallet as a unit of measure. They only saw cases and pieces. So just in inFlow, you can actually define whatever unit of measures you like. And Phil is showing us where we can do that.
Oops, I think.
Okay, I think it's on, the next one. I think it's in inventory. And units of measure there.
Yeah, there it is. Units. Yep. Oops. Units of measure.
So in your account, you can set what units of measure you want, and then per product, you can add what those conversions are. So, you can track that, like maybe one pallet is like 144 cases of, in this case, batarangs.
There we go. Yeah, so you've got your different units of measure and everything right there. You can also add them here, like directly in the product itself. So if you just like start typing in like a new one, it'll give you the little plus button, so you can add them directly there. But yeah, so you could set up your palettes and stuff that way.
Awesome.
Cool. I saw there was a question about sunsetting the desktop application. Is that something you saw?
I think I was looking for a progress report on that.
So I mean, we don't have anything, I guess, like specific to say about it right now. It's still not a planned thing to happen anytime soon. So we've seen that a large number of our users still use the desktop application. We don't want to make things difficult for anyone. There are a lot of reasons why the web application is kind of the way that we're focusing a lot of our attention on, because like the desktop application only works on Windows. You can't use it on like Mac or Linux or anything like that. It's also kind of like a much older style of coding and like system to work with, so it's a little more difficult and can't use kind of as many new features and stuff like that. So basically for now, there's still no plan on when or like if it's going to be removed completely or anything like that. Just all the new features and stuff like that will always have the web support. And then right now we're not really kind of like, I guess, building new features or anything for the desktop application. So we're just trying to maintain it and keep it going. But yeah, everything else will just be in the web app. Cool. What else we got
One
here?
more in there. I think Noah had one for, we need to access calculated weights for a product based on the total weight of the BOM. Where can we access the finished product's weight?
That's a good question.
I'm
not sure. I don't think we automatically calculate the weight on like a work order or a manufacturer order, sorry.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to think. I know in sales orders and purchase orders.
Yeah, it will pull up all that information. Yeah, that's actually a good question. That might be something that we can put in for like feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that that there is like any spot specifically or anything that it would like automatically calculate that for you. Mm-hmm. You'd have to just be setting it in the actual product, like your finished product itself.
I'll quickly try to just do it on my end, and if it does work, we can bring it up on screen, Phil. But no, yeah, I'll definitely pass that feedback on if there isn't a way, and maybe it's something that we can add. But I'll test it out for you right now too, if I can quickly do it while we answer some of these questions, and I'll get back if anything looks different.
Sure, cool. I saw Manesh had asked if we were still sharing product updates on the. We do have like an update page, which he did share the link in there. And so we are still putting all of our updates and everything on here. Again, we've been working on kind of like a really big release, so there hasn't been anything since December last year. So this next one currently is planned for February 24th. Hopefully, again, knock on wood, everything goes according to plan. Then we will have more release notes in here. So that's the inflowinventory.com/cloud updates. Sorry, I'm just looking through the chat here.
I think Ed's question would be great next. How to total purchase orders regardless of status, whether it's through a report or if there's a quicker sum.
Yeah, it would most likely have to be a report because we don't have anything else that's going to total them. So you want to see regardless of the status. I mean, essentially, let's just take a look at the reports here. So, I mean, I think in the purchase orders itself, so summaries, we have a lot of reports that will have different options available on them. So summary are usually going to be just like the order level. So giving you just kind of like the high level information. Details will then usually go into actually like product, like line by line kind of thing. So depending on what information you're trying to grab, again, if you're trying to kind of get your totals of your purchase orders, the summary would most likely be what you'd want. And then we have these different filters. So if you click on all filters, I'll zoom in a little bit. We have some that show up by default, and you can always add other ones if you need. But this one here is for like the status of the purchase orders themselves. So on here by default, it's picking unfulfilled and started, but you could also include fulfilled on here. If I apply that, zoom back out. When you generate, oh, this is going to do it for all my POs, which thankfully this account doesn't have a lot, so it should generate pretty quick. And then it will give you grand totals for what you've searched for at the bottom here. Again, just kind of like the filters, something that's kind of useful to know is that with this little wrench here on the far left-hand side of any of our reports, you can also choose different columns to show. So any of these ones here with the X are on there already, but if I scroll down further, you can see these ones with the plus sign. So these are different columns that aren't on there currently that I could add. So again, maybe there is something else that you wanted to know, like if you had foreign totals or anything like that, you could include those, or if you needed the payment terms, stuff like that. So taking a look at the reports and kind of what you can add onto them can also sometimes be helpful, just because it may not show everything by default. And then I guess also, sorry, the other thing that would be helpful in the top right here, we have the save button. So you can save them as PDF, or if you save it as a CSV, that would give it to as like a file that you can open in like Excel. So again, if you're trying to get totals or anything like that, saving it that way, you could then open it up in Excel if you needed to do any other kind of like calculations or anything like that on there. That would most likely be the easiest way to do it. Cool.
We have a lot of questions.
So, yeah, I guess trying to go through it in order. I saw Nitin had asked a question, how do we delete a PO number? So I guess depending on what you're looking for with that, the purchase orders themselves, so you don't delete information fully in inFlow. We do try and keep everything for like historical purposes. You can, when you go to a purchase order, up on the top here, we've got this cancel order that would essentially undo everything that purchase order did, but it is still going to exist there. So like when I go into my filters on here, I go under status, I can then view any canceled orders. So I would be able to still see it. If you needed to use, say, for instance, PO number 18 again, you would then just have to change this. So instead of like rather deleting it, if I just made this say like PO 18 test and I save it, if I now make like a new purchase order, I could name this now again 18 and save, and because now these are different because I've got test on the end of one, I can use that number again. So maybe that might be what you mean for kind of like delete. Cool.
Thanks, Phil. I think let's jump to maybe some of kind of the document designer style ones. Like Alfonso was asking about Is there a way to change the box content list to be palette content?
So great question. We do. So if we go into our settings under orders, we've got this document designer up here on the top right. And this basically will let you customize any of your sales documents and your purchase documents on here. There's a lot of different things that you can customize. So again, I mean, depending on what you want to change. So I know you were saying box label or content list is already changed to a palette content. Again, so like what do we got? Sales, we got our box content list. If I click on it, so this is what my current one looks like right now. You can click on any of these different areas and you can customize, like if I need to change like what one of these titles is called. I can add in different bits of information that I want to show on here. So I can add in extra things like the weight or the dimensions, and these will then show up on here. You can drag and make these columns bigger. You can also rearrange them based on how you want it to display on like the printouts. So there are a lot of different options available depending on what you like, the specific cases that you need. You can also add extra bits of information by clicking this little plus button at the bottom. You can choose different options to put on here. One of the most powerful, we do have like a spot where you can actually put like HTML code as well, and we have like variables for a lot of the information that you can stick in there as well. So I would say most likely, yes, you can customize it as you need, just depending on the exact specifics. It might be a little bit different. Cool.
It's real to sorry. Yeah, same one. I was just saying, I was just writing to Bobby about on purchase orders, would it be possible to add an additional for credit card surcharges or other fees? And I thought this probably is where you might want to use non-vendor costs field to add some of those added fees, because another client actually just emailed me about this, where they were tracking tariff costs and having to put them in the payment area, but it makes it go over, like you are paying more for it. So so you can put payments in there if you need to break down payments, but that's going to add to your subtotal. So those non-vendor fees won't add to it, but it'll still factor into your products. Like it'll still funnel in those costs.
And I guess, where did we move I know we moved the non-vendor fees. Like where?
Oh, it's at the bottom there, cost details.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you click on cost details. There we go, and then you can do the non-vendor cost. So you can add in either a dollar amount, or if you need it to be like a percentage, like you were saying, kind of thing. If you need like 2% or something, you can then add it, which will again, as Kiri said, update also for the items themselves, but not affect the total. I think the only other way then would be if you needed like an actual item on like the order, is creating like a service product and then adding it on there. But yeah, probably the non-vendor is the best way to go.
Awesome. Damon had surfaced one about the zero integration, if it's possible for a canceled sales order or invoice in inFlow to avoid the invoice in zero, which they're running into issues about. I mean, if you're running into issues, it sounds like there isn't a way right now. So I just want to throw out there that we're going to be doing some user research on our zero integration coming up, and I'm going to send you a message, and I would love for you to email me directly, and we can, get you in our first round of upcoming zero interviews to help us shape what changes we might make.
Awesome. I was just trying to quickly also check, like, I'm not sure if we have anything written about what it does with the canceled ones.
I know it's going to be either, like, to my knowledge, they should be canceled, but if it's not getting canceled, then, and that's your experience, then I think that requires more troubleshooting than we can really do right now.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely, you can reach out to us at support@inflowinventory.com. That way we can take a look at like your specific cases, and you can give us examples and stuff like that as well too. And we would definitely be happy to be able to take a look into that for sure.
I know Noah was bringing up, why is the backorder report not available through the main report interface so you can have access to it by going to the report help page? Is it being sunset? There's an asterisk next to it, but no corresponding explanation. It's there.
Yeah.
It's just under sales and under operations.
I think what's key here, anytime on the reports page that there's multiple icons, there's actually multiple reports within one click.
Yeah, so these little things, and if you do hover over them, it does say their name kind of thing as well too. So like I can see back order here, but yeah, it is a little more difficult sometimes to find them based off of just how they're kind of grouped like that. But yeah, as Kiri said, you can still get to it under sales and then operations, back order. There's no plans on like sunsetting it or removing it or anything like that.
Pretty important one, I would say.
Yeah.
It gets asked a lot, and when you show it, it opens a lot of eyes after. It's like, oh, there it is.
I saw Nitin had also asked, how do I change the default storage location? It reverts back to a field you don't want it to. So, I mean, you've got a couple different options, but so if you go into your settings, so down at the little cog under inventory and then locations, this will show you all your main locations that you have set up on here, and the star here is where you would set your specific default. And that should then be account wide. So that's going to be for everything. Now, you do also have personal defaults. So if I go to the personal setting here and personal default, I can set a location that's just for me. So right now, my company, I've got warehouse is like my default location. But for myself, I could go in and I could change this to say I work out of the Toronto store. So this will override the company one. So a personal one will take precedence over the company. So if you are making that change and it's not changing, I would suggest maybe check your personal defaults. There are also customer defaults that you can have. So default like payment methods, default locations, different things like that. So that would also take precedence. Same with vendors, I believe, have their own defaults as well too. So you can set like tax and semen price schemes. I don't think they have a location, but yeah. So there's kind of a few different places that you might have to check for that. Cool. Sorry, just reading through the chat, and definitely a whole bunch going in here.
I just responded to Kay, but can also show on screen. But how do you add GST to freight in the PO? That's just going to get done through your taxing schemes. You might just have to enable taxing on shipping when you're creating them. So Gotham tax on shipping down there.
Yeah,
that should allow your freight to have tax involved with it.
Yeah, and does like a nice little swap where you can see the difference, like how the total changes and stuff as well too. So you can see that there's like a difference. And if you add a secondary tax, you also have the option of having that have tax on shipping as well too. So something to keep in mind. Cool. I saw Ali had asked, is there a way to export print bill of materials from the product page? I don't believe so at the moment. I know I have, where's my chair? One of my chairs is, here we go. So I'm assuming you're talking like from here. So here, unfortunately, no, you don't have a way of exporting the bill of materials. You can use the full export and do bill of materials. This will export all your products that have them to Excel. But I mean, once you have it in Excel, you could just add like a filter on the column as well, and then kind of just filter it down to the one that you need. So that may be most likely the easiest way of doing that.
There was this question from Travis. I was actually just testing out because I'm pretty sure it shouldn't do this, but again, bugs can pop up. So why do deactivated products not show up in sales reports? If I sold 5 water bottles last week and then the product is deactivated and I run a sales report, it should still show up in the report, even though it's deactivated because I still sold it. And the rule should be for anything that is historical should still technically come up in the reports, unless I'm wrong, guys. But
it's one of those tricky ones that I'm not 100% positive. We can definitely go back and talk to the team about it, but I think that may be something from like an on-premise our older software kind of thing. I believe if you've deactivated it, it will most likely take it out of a lot of those reports, just because it's. I know there's different ways of thinking, I guess, of what like a deactivated product might be or anything like that, but yeah, there's no easy answer. And again, I didn't create the logic behind it or anything like that, so I can't say whether it's the correct way or not or anything like that. But with the product type filter that we're adding back or adding into the reports in the next release, hopefully, you should then be able to turn on, like be able to include your deactivated products in there. So I think that should most likely help with that kind of a product or problem. Sorry. So you'd be able to just include both active and deactivated. And yeah. Because I know if you if you cancel sales orders and stuff like they will take them out as well. So I believe the same kind of thing happens with the products themselves too. Okay. Lots still coming in. Cool. How do you add you? Okay, that's the one that's you there. Next or something. How do we track products?
I think Nitin had mentioned they're having some issue with changing their default location for a product. I think maybe we could just go into that one a little bit more about how to set a default location and sublocation.
Sure. So I had shown how to do the default location up under inventory and there, but then for products, we have a new way of setting them. So for each of your locations, when you're on an actual product screen, you can click into the location itself and you'll see all your sublocations that have stock. And each one of these then will have like its own, you can set a default on here. So right now, Isle Bat is my default. I can set it to Isle Green and save it. It will put your default, oops, I clicked print, but it will put your default as like the top one. So like if I look at my Toronto one, I only have the one sublocation, which is marking it as the default as well. So yeah, it's that star that you'll have on there. And that's also then where you're managing like your reordering. So if you set a default sublocation on there, that's going to be used for your reorder settings and everything that you have. Okay, I saw Hunter had asked, how do you print a report on unpaid sales? So one thing that I will actually, I'll post in the chat too, just in there, but there is this cool report selection tool that we've added to our website. If you go under support, it's so if I just go inflowinventory.com under support, it is here on the side, so you don't have to have the direct link, but report selection tool. This will actually show a list of all the different reports, which is really handy. And then basically these are the different columns that are available on the different reports themselves. So depending what you're looking for, this can be really helpful. So like if I'm looking for like total sales or something, I click that, it's going to filter down which reports might have it. So like sales by product summary. And then that way you could take a look. So like sales by product summary, I can pull up, and then on here you'd be able to run any of the different stuff you need. I know you had said unpaid sales, so you can, again, using like the different filters. This one's like the status filter on there. You'd be able to do owing, or if you wanted to include also partially paid ones as well too. And then you'd most likely want to have like a date or something like that. I don't think I have any recent ones, so I'll probably won't find anything, but yeah.
Also, if you're in the app, it's in the report section too, if you want to quickly jump into the report selection. So just under stockroom scans, you can get to it there too.
Yep.
And if I remember as well, if you click the report on the report selection tool, it jumps you back into it, right?
Yeah, it will try and open that one for you, and then that way you can use it from there. So I guess that's another way that you could get to the back order report. If you can't find it in our list or anything like that, click on it and it'll be able to open it up right for you as well too.
There you go.
So cool. Okay, I think I lost my place in the list. Where are we at?
Nick is asking about tracking products by pallet. I know we went over setting pallet as a unit of measure, but maybe we can share more about how the conversions, like how to set those conversions that make sense for a pallet. But we don't have like pallet license plates. So I just want to like mention that. Oh, can we go through it again? Sure.
So we're talking just units of measure, essentially setting up like the, okay. So let me just pick, I don't think I have anything on something like this. So on our products themselves, we've got this little add measurement spot on here where you can click on. This is where you'd be able to add like length, width, height, anything like that. But then we also have units of measure. Now, your standard unit of measure, this is probably the most important one. This should be the smallest unit that you track your products in. So this product here being a gift box or whatever, my smallest unit is probably just one box, which I can add as one of my things. Now, you'll see on here, it's already added that my box, I can have both a selling and a purchasing unit of measure. So this is where we can add in our conversions for them. So like if I purchase this and you were saying you purchase it as a pallet, I can have one pallet equals then how many boxes. So let's say that I get 24 boxes on one pallet, and maybe I sell them differently. Maybe I sell them in pairs. I can put 2 boxes is one pair and 24 boxes is one pallet. So I can save this. And these are now my units of measure on this product itself. If I were to open a purchase order, and buy this one, so gift box. So now it's by default, because I've set this up as a purchasing unit of measure, my purchase orders will by default use that on here. So it's selected for me one pallet, which is 24 boxes. So if I receive it as this, I'm going to have 24 extra in stock. If I don't want that, say I am only receiving one box, I can change it and I can change that quantity as needed. But by default, it's going to use that purchase unit of measure. So let's just say it's $2 per, oops, $2 per thing. I can save it. I can fulfill it. And on the receive tab itself, I'll also see that pallet. You can click on it and change to show whichever one you want to use. So again, maybe your receiving crew or anything doesn't count it by the pallet. Maybe they do count it by the box. You can click on that and be able to save that as well too. So when I print out my pick list, I can see that's 24 boxes. But if I go back to this product now, I should have 24 in stock. There we go. So I got 24, and then just quickly showing if I were to go to like create a sales order, it will use that sales unit of measure instead. So it's automatically selected one pair, which again, with my conversion is 2 boxes. Again, I could sell it by a pallet if I wanted, which would be 24, or I could sell it individually. But basically then you're able to choose it just directly from those the drop downs when you click into the quantity section.
Awesome.
Okay. So beyond that, I think the next one, so I mean, I'll just answer this one. I answered it in the chat, but Travis had asked about, can we get a filter on the API for stock transfers by status? I totally agree. It seems pretty reasonable. So I will submit a request for it. No promises, but like, it seems universally useful. So that's like an easy one for us to ask for. So thanks so much for highlighting it.
Cool.
And then Lindsay had asked about how can I restrict access to certain parts of inFlow?
Cool. That's a great question. So yeah, so that with that, you've got, you go into your settings. So either from the bottom or your email under the team. So this is where you're going to see all your different users that you have, all your different team members, and you can click on this little edit access rights. I'll zoom in a little bit. And basically once you do, you'll see that person's login, and then you'll be able to set all the different access that you want them to have. So it is, you can restrict things like if you want them to be able to see sales orders. So right now this person has full access. I could switch it to view only, which means they'd only be able to see them, not be able to create them. Under full access, then I can turn on like whether they can change prices or change prioritization. And we've got it separated out by all the different sections. So like the actual inventory itself, manufacturing, purchasing, or even like the reports. Same kind of thing with this is where you can also set whether they can be an administrator or not, because admins just have extra access to like different settings, like the integration settings and different things like that. And yeah, so this is where you'd be able to tailor it to each specific team member that you need.
Awesome. I'll answer Allie's. Is there a way to export or print a product BOM straight from the product page like you used to be able to do on the old version? And sadly, from the product page, no, but could definitely do it from the manufacturing order if you do want it in PDF, and could also do it via CSV through export. But yeah, Phil will show you first just through the PDF way. So if I have a BOM here set up, you can just print it there for manufacturing order, and it will show you the full breakdown of the product there. So you can get that. You can even get your pick list or your put away list as well, also broken down in PDF. So you'll get a version like that. And if you like working in Excel, you can always get all of your BOMs set up through there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is probably the easiest way still. You would just export all of them and then filter it down to what you need.
Yeah. But Ali, I'll still pass that on though. If we could maybe like, yeah, once something is created as a bill of material, it'd be great just to like live on that products page and just print it right from there, you know. Definitely understand and makes complete sense of having the ease of that. So I'll certainly pass that along.
Cool. Okay. I think we may have kind of caught up on there at the moment. So I'll jump back over to our thing just because we do have a few different pre-submitted questions that people had asked. I know Steve had asked how we kind of already touched on this with some of the other document designer stuff, but how can I add my business banking information on every customer invoice, or also how can I add my phone website information to the letterhead? So in the app again, so when we go into our settings, under orders, the document designer, so I had done one here where I have modifying, the sales order itself. I've added I hit this little plus button at the bottom, custom text, which actually added this little block down here. So you can rearrange these blocks as you need. You can drag them around. I can remove it. And on here, so I just went in and I was able to type in my like company's banking quote unquote information or whatever that you want, like your payment stuff. And then again, that if I wanted it at the top, I could move it up or I could drag it down to the bottom, leave it, and then that way, once I save, then this sales order, whenever I go to print it, will then have that. You can also modify your letterhead. So we do have a default letterhead that shows up on all your documents. If I click this down here at the bottom left, this is where you can then customize what you want to show on here. So right now I've got logo, name, address, phone, website. I can add in also like an email or a fax or something like that, or I can remove whichever ones that we don't want. And then you can also manually change any of the information if you need to. So you've got kind of all these different options. Now, if I change it here on the default one here, that will affect any of the ones that are using the default. But if I go into a specific order itself, or sorry, a specific document, I can also take it off of that default. So right now it is using it. I can see it's using the default, but I can use my own custom. So this one specific document, then could be different than the rest of them. Otherwise, if I want to use that default again, I just click use default, and they'll all then be the same. We also had somebody asking, Donovan had asked if you could search an item by a picture, which unfortunately at the moment, no, you cannot. So definitely, again, everybody in here, again, we like getting your feedback and your suggestions and everything. So please do send us emails at support@inflowinventory.com. We record them and pass them along. Again, we can't guarantee everything will become something in the program, but you know, the old saying, squeaky wheel gets the oil or whatever. So more people that ask for specific things, the higher up on the management's radar it goes, kind of thing. So yeah,
it's luck, because we're all from different teams, and so we're really good about making it sound like a lot. If we each individually let everyone know that you guys requested this, they'll be like, wow, 3 different people heard this.
There you go.
Can we jump back one? I just wanted to double tap on one in the chat.
Sure.
So Alfonso was asking about, is there a way to have barcode labels applied to specific shelves, bins, racks, or would we ever work on creating sublocation barcodes? And that is honestly a great question. So just being so for real with you here, Alfonso, we do support scanning sublocation barcodes, but we don't have a default way to generate them. With the upcoming functions for lots and batches, there's going to be some barcode innovation that will support them a little bit better. But honestly, the answer is like, watch this space, and thank you so much for highlighting
it. Yeah. And as Mackenzie kind of said, like, so it is something kind of, I guess, on the radar, or at least in some kind of fashion. So hopefully in the not too distant future. Again, lots has been a huge project, so it's still going to take a bit of time to fully come out and everything. But yeah, we appreciate that.
We could answer Damon's, because this one also is close to my heart.
Sure.
Can we have it that when we email an invoice, etc., from my company rather than from inFlow, it causes confusion for customers who don't realize it's from us? And I think it's like, yeah, the no reply and details in the email there, when you're emailing directly out, I know can be confusing to your customers when you're sending directly out of inFlow. So I know there have been some changes. There used to be a time where we couldn't control what the template of the email used to look like, and people used to hate and despise that. But through feedback, we did change it. So this is another one I will pass on for you, Damon.
Yeah, I think it's one of those. I don't know what's possible, I guess, in this space. I know one of the problems is that a lot of like email companies and everything will become more sophisticated, so they're trying to stop like spam and spoofers and stuff like that. So that's why it has to come from that. I don't even know which one. No reply at inflowinventory.com, and then it just shows you the reply to, so whatever email address you put in there, kind of thing. But yeah, again, I don't know what's possible. Maybe there are more like paid services that can then actually do it, but. Yeah, so if that's something that's near and dear to a lot of other people's hearts too, just write in about it, and again, kind of get it bumped up on the list there.
Yeah.
Quickly, just because I know we're getting closer to time, I see there's a couple more questions coming in, but I'll just go through some of these quickly. We only have a few of them, but yeah, somebody had asked, the picking process is done order by order. So when will pick wave be implemented so that it can be done quickly by location using the system? So this is actually something that is, I guess, part of like an upcoming project. So this is something that is on our radar. We do have a roadmap that you can go to on our website, which we have like under consideration stuff, and you can click on these things. You can say how important it is to you, which kind of upvotes it. So again, kind of makes people more aware. But we also have stuff that shows like in development. And so these are like projects that we are currently working on. So again, like SquarePoint was one of the ones I had showed before, or web save reports. And so the batch picking is something that again, we know is kind of asked for, and so hopefully we can bring it in the future. kind of another one of the document designer questions. Somebody was asking if they can issue commercial invoices. So I'm not sure exactly what would be required on there, but with the things like weights or any of like your custom fields or different things like that, using the document designer, you can add all those different things on there. So again, it's kind of just a more just picking which pieces of information you want to show, and then you can have it all on there. So you should hopefully be able to customize it well enough to make it work for any of those needs. Somebody had asked if we could lock negative inventory. So this, unfortunately, no, it's not something that you can do. We do show warnings pop up on there, but we essentially kind of have the mindset that we don't ever want to completely block you from doing something. Like if I was in a store, I was physically holding a product and I told the person, I'm sorry, you can't buy it because my inventory system says you don't have it or something like that. Like that's not a good experience. So we do try and give you as much information so you can hopefully go back and fix it after. But yeah, no, so there's no way of stopping it completely. Two last ones that we had on here was what is the best report to run for a month-end inventory count that shows what they have and the best way to adjust it. So if we're talking actual reports themselves, the historical inventory, which under stock levels, there we go, sorry. Historical inventory details report. This one lets you actually select a specific date that you want to see what your inventory levels were at on that specific day. You can also filter by location. So this one's going to give you the most accurate information in terms of what you had on hand on that day and then how much cost that all was in the system. But they did also ask how they could then adjust that information. So if you're not aware, we do have stock counts actually inside inFlow itself. So you can create a stock count where you can then divide up your products. So on here, I only have one, but you would actually, it tells you how much the system has counted at that time. You'd be able to then input how much you've actually counted. It'll tell you your discrepancies on here, whether you have like negatives or positives. And then once you hit complete and adjust, it will actually do all the stock adjustments for you. So create like updating your inventory levels to those numbers. The one thing that I would just caution on this is you do want to kind of like freeze all your inventory movements while you're doing stock counts, because essentially this is just like a snapshot of your inventory at that time. If this value then changes, so at this time I had 5, if I do it now and say I have 10 or something, this is still going off of that 5 and it's only going to adjust based off of that, not like your live inventory numbers. So again, just something you kind of want to keep in mind. And then the last one was just somebody was asking if there was a drop-down list of email addresses that we could input. So they send receiving notes internally to several departments, and they have to type the names each time. Unfortunately, there are no drop-downs, but so again, great feedback, something that we can definitely submit. When you are emailing out, you can, if I can get to it, you can separate by comma on here and add multiple. So, I mean, if you had somewhere like a notepad or something on your computer or whatever, and you just save your kind of lists on there, you can just copy and paste, and it might be a little bit faster, but definitely great feedback and something that we can report back to the team. And yeah, so I don't know, were there any other specific questions that came in while I was saying that we should go over?
Doesn't look like it.
Did we answer Brad's about sorting or grouping products by operation within a manufacturer order?
No, we did not do that.
I mean, the answer is, well, I mean, Alice will show us, but unfortunately, you can't right now. But that's a really great one to highlight. And there's a team working on parts of manufacturing right now, so we can definitely give this feedback to them. It's a good time.
Yeah, no, for sure. That I can see how that would definitely be useful. Yeah, there's just no way right now.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, well, we have hit the hour mark. I don't know are we able to grab an easy list of everybody's name, and we can do a quick wheel of names to see if somebody wins or who wins a gift card for joining us today?
Let's see. I can probably grab these from the people list.
While you're doing that, I see Alfonso had asked, is there a way to create bundles kits with the manufacturing add-on? So there is. And essentially, I think that gift box that I had looked at before was one I had set up. So it is still part of like our manufacturing product itself. But essentially what you're doing is you're creating, oh no, I don't have anything in it. You would add a bill of materials. So these are the items that you need to make that bundle or kit. I'll just pick some random things just so we have something on here. Cool. So I've got 3 things on this, essentially this product that is like, we would consider the gift box now a finished product, and these are the components in it. If I click on manufacturer settings here, this is probably the most important stuff. We've got 2 different options. So you can set auto assemble after a sale. So usually if you're doing a bundle, this is probably what you would want to select. So this means if I don't have stock of this gift box, when I sell it on a sales order, inFlow will automatically create the manufacturer order using this bill of materials, so using those pieces, and create it and fulfill it for me so that I don't go into negative stock. You can also then combine your quantities on here. So again, this is recommended for bundles where it will show your quantity available and quantity buildable. So the quantity buildable will be looking at the stock that you have in each location for the components, and then on your actual like overview itself, it would show you your quantity available would include how many you can build, and so yeah, that would be able to be how you could do it for a bundle. Cool.
And I got that list of names. Phil?
I just want to mention too, I know Alfonso had asked without the manufacturing add-on, so it's not possible without the add-on. But if you want, Alfonso, I recommend reaching out to Success at inflowinventory.com. They can connect you with your CSM, and then they could do something like give you a cloned instance to test out the function. I think that would be the best way to give it a wing and see if it's worth it for your business.
But yeah, I think we got to pretty much all the questions. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you for joining us, for sending in questions, and again for joining us today and asking here in the chat. Huge thank you to Kiri and Mackenzie also for superstars answering. I know they were typing a lot in the chat and answering live here as well too. So fantastic.
Kudos to you as well, Phil, for always running a great webinar. I know you spoke a lot, shared a lot, so thank you.
Yeah.
And
thanks everyone who joined and asked all these questions and participated and, you know, re-highlighted their questions too. If we missed something, you guys so much for being such a great audience and helping us.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you. I see
more of these. You know, we love doing these. These are always great.
I will leave everyone with a terrible inventory related joke just because I always have to do something like that. So I will say to you all, why did the warehouse manager get promoted? Any guesses? Any guesses? Because he had outstanding stock.
And on that note,
we will end it. Steve, sorry, yes, Steve. I did see we did talk about your questions on there. They were the document designer ones. I'm sorry if we kind of glossed over them, but essentially using the document designer, there are different ways to customize both your header and again, like add like a note on the bottom. I can show you where I had shown it before. So in your settings under the orders, documents, on this one, I had just added a custom text field to the bottom here where I put in like the banking information, which I believe is the one that you had asked. Or if you wanted to, again, change like your default letterhead on all your your documents, you click on default letterhead down here on the bottom, and you can change the logo, the size, the name, everything like that on there. Yeah. So again, hopefully that helps. If you do have more questions about it, email us at support@inflowinventory.com, and we'll be happy to help you out with that.
Definitely, I'll make sure we send you some follow-ups, Steve, so you have everything you need.
Cool.
This is also going up, so you'll actually see your name is Steve once it's on YouTube, and us answering it as well. So
there you go.
Don't even worry.
Got you.
Okay, then I think we will end it with that. Again, thank you everybody, and thank you everybody for sticking around. I'm trying to think if I have any other bad jokes that I can end it with now. Here you go. I wanted to start a business selling revolving doors, but I just couldn't get the turnover I was looking for.
Oh,
so there you go. We'll end it on a nice groan.
Oh,
I see
man.
Mackenzie.
Okay. Speaker and terrible.
That's what I'm here for. It's what I'm here for. All right, everybody. Thank you again. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and we will see you next time.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.